I'm, I think, one of the most fortunate musicians who was born in the family of musicians. And my father was associated with great maestros since 1951. And prior to that, one of my uncle who came to Calcutta, because we were based in Bangladesh, so he came to Calcutta just to learn music from the great maestro Pandit Girija Shankar Chakraborty of Kirana Gharana and Bishnupur Gharana. And he was actually governing the entire classical music situation of Calcutta. So my uncle learned from him, and also two other maestros of that era. So my family's association with music starts from 1940-41. Although my grandfather was very fond of music, he also practiced music. And this, but basically they were from, my grandfather was a doctor, three of my uncles are doctor, and my father was supposed to be an engineer. He kind of dreamed to be my father as an engineer. But my uncle, he actually was the pioneer. He found the genius in my father, musical genius in my father, and he was also a very good musician. So when he migrated to Kolkata, and he was also having a job in a very respectable position, so he could host my father in Calcutta, and he kind of backed my father, you can say patronized my father, and brought him to the maestros like Ustad Karamatullah Khan Sahab, Ustad Mazid Khan Sahab. They are great maestros of tabla. And since he was also associated with the vocal music, so all the like Girija Shankar Chakraborty, Chinmaya Lahiri, Tarapada Chakraborty, all these people were associated with my family since 1940s. So you can jolly well think that the level of music, also the thinking, also the perception was so high since then that it turned into a professionalism after 10, 12 years when my father started music professionally in 1964. So this is the process, this is the history of my family's association with music. And secondly, in India, it is very important to be, I won't say assistant. We have this Guru Shishya Parampara, and this Shishya has to be always with Guru, help Guru in various ways, even doing shopping for him, making the bed for him, bringing the food for him. But this they used to do so lovingly, so respectfully. There was no a sense of slavery or assistance or something like that. And forget about money. And so in this way, my father also got connected to so many great musicians through the Guru, because he was 24/7 almost with the Guru. So when the Guru was meeting Ustad Bare Ghulam Ali Khan Sahab, Ustad Amir Khan Sahab, Ustad Fayyaz Khan Sahab, Muhammad Hussain Sarang from Afghanistan, so my father got directly connected to them and also practiced with them. My father practiced with Bare Ghulam Ali Khan Sahab from 1953. Every day he was going and practicing with him. And also our next door neighbor was Ustad Vilayat Khan. It's just one corner, So he also practiced with Ustad Vilayat Khan, Ustad Rais Khan, Ustad Imrat Khan. So his association, grew more and more and more in a much sophisticated and much greater way. And then he started actually, and also he practiced a lot with Parvin Sultana. My master, also Parvin Sultana's master, Pandit Chinmaya Lahiri ji. He loved my father because he was he had a very good sense of accompaniment. So this is how he made his career. He came into the mainstream of music in India. And I just would like to mention my father's first love was vocal music. He tried to sing also. But since he got more, impetus or inspiration for tabla, and also more work, more job on tabla, he just focused on tabla more. So when I was born in 1968, so all this, history and all this prolonged association with great maestros, of my father, impacted on me. And since he couldn't do the vocal music, the first, idea of his for me was, she has to be a singer. And my father was very, sophisticated man, and also he had a lot of hobbies. One of them was collecting recordings. I mean, we had huge recordings already when I was born. And he, when he started earning money, he bought the Uher 4-track spool and one Sony 4-track, still lying in my house. It was bought in 1965 or 66 when he started going abroad. He was touring with Ustad Vilayat Khan, Europe tours. So when he started earning a little bit more money, the first thing he focused on, just bring the recording machine. And he recorded and also collected huge. And it was not just collection and put it in the library. It was always played. I mean, when we, as a child, as a mere little 2-3 years old, when I used to get up in the morning, something was going on. In the afternoon, something was going on. Always, 24 hours, as long as he was awake, the machine was running, either the machine or the radio. So it was always music going on in the family, And this was also because he wanted me to be absorbed in it. And the second thing was, since he wanted to push me into classical music, he also, prevented me to listen to too much Bollywood music. I was not exposed to Bollywood music till 1980. It was only Khayal, it was Drupad, it was Thumri, it was something associated, instrumental music, his recording. So when I grew up, when playfully singing, as a little child, and I was also doing, because I was always listening to Bare Ghulam Ali Khan, Amir Khan, maybe, Guru Bin Gyana Pahu. As a little child, like this. This was my music actually. So when I was 5, that uncle I was talking about, we stayed together in one house, my father and that uncle, because they were very fond of each other, and so they stayed together, two families in a house. This uncle initiated music into my life. He started, say sa re ga ma and this and that, and I picked up so easily, very easily, because I'm listening to it, 24 hours almost. So then, like when I was almost 6 years old, I gave the first public performance with playing harmonium. You can find the picture on my Facebook and Twitter or all handles, and I still have the recording. But now I have to digitize it and put it on. A girl of 5 singing with a harmonium and in tune and on rhythm. Like this, but on rhythm, never failing it. So, and since Munawar Ali Khan, the son of Ghulam Ali Khan, was a very close friend of my father, and Chinmay Lahiri was also a very close friend because of the association with Karamat Khan and all that, and also he played a lot with Chinmay Lahiri. seeing me singing like this, I want to teach her. We want to teach her something like that. So, but my father chose Chinmay Lahiri because he was a great trainer. Like most of the great women vocalists, Parvin Sultana, Meera Banerjee, Shipra Bose, Shonda Mukherjee, I mean, name any of that era, trained under him. So my father's fascination was, first choice was Pandit Chinmay Lahiri. So he kind of brought me there. And this is how it started. And it was never a task for me. Oh, I have to do this. It was like playing. And since I was always appreciated, oh, she's doing good. So I did it good to get appreciation from my parents. It brought me more love for my parents if I had done it. So I did it, joyfully. This is how the lineage started. We were in Berlin. My father was Dieri's guest, Dia Ade. So 2 years we were there as a guest, and I met a lot of German, and because my father was working with Stockhausen, Peter Michael Hammel, and there was another avant-garde musician, I can't recall the name now, and they were very famous at that point of time, and they used to come to our house like a friend, making music. And so in the childhood I was also having fun, because I also sang for them 2-3 lines, sing something like that, and I also sang in a there was a Dr. Weber who was a great musicologist of that time. He gave me a chance to sing for a planetarium music, 10 minutes as a child artist. So I got into it, and I got the feel of working with non-Indians, and it was fun. It was really fun. And Peter Michael Hammel, who was a very noted composer of that era, who also studied Indian music from Banaras. So whenever he composed with microtones, overtones, and so good. So and he also took me 2-3 times to his place and made me sing as a child artist, and he played sometimes piano with me. So it was like very, and in 1983, at the age of 15, I performed in World Women Vocalist Festival in Reggio Emilia. And that was also a professional, assignment. But from 1991, it was a little different, because I was assigned to teach at the age of almost 21, 22, yeah. So that was a big responsibility on me. It's not only projecting India for somebody. It's to give the right message of music to somebody who doesn't know anything. Okay, and it should be the right one. It should not be the touristic, because I have seen my father dealing with the students so seriously. My father has several good students all over Europe, also in UK, and they have been doing really good, and still they are doing good. Federico Sanesi, Friedemann Zintel, many others like Ciro Montanari. They are really doing very good. Stefano Grazia, and they have been learning from my father since last 40 years. So I have seen my father how seriously he has handled the students of non-Indian students. So this teaching or this message was in my mind, of course. The barricade or the hindrance was the language, because I didn't know Italian, because it was in Chini Foundation, and all Italians. I didn't know a single line, single word that time. So, but my challenge was I have to succeed. This is a big challenge for me. And being the daughter of Shankar Chatterjee, who never failed, I should not fail. So what I did, the first day was really for me like, what is happening? I mean, no communication actually. Then instead of teaching music, I noted some collected some Italian words like what is up, what is down, what is this, and then I just managed like this, na. So it was like when I taught them, sa re ga ma pa da ni sa. So when you go to sa, you have to go to su. Sa su re su ga, something like that. And since I knew a little bit of Western music because I did the MA, a master's in music, so we had to learn a certain part of Western music in India also. I knew the do re mi fa sol la si, the intervals, TTS, and also these chord progressions that I knew from India already. So I just merged Indian and Western. So the first day was like this, and at the end of 2 hours, they started picking up. And when they picked up, then I in the same way explained them the 10 tatas, the 10 major scales. And that was so interesting for them. They went to my father and they said, your daughter is a good teacher. She's very young, but she's a good teacher. But I know what I really did. I had to be there. I have to go. It was like a big challenge to me. But it was a big fun. I mean, at the end of the day, I was really proud of myself. Oh, it has started. It got started. It kick-started, So next day we did Yaman, Rag Yaman. And this scale is existing, I think, maybe Mixolydian. And this I knew, Phrygian, Mixolydian, Dorian. This concept I already had from India because I did it in my studies. So I could just look, this is the scale which is very nearer to this scale, which is actually this scale, and this is derived in the same way that you have derived it in Western music. So let us go with that. So initially I was kind of I was always referring to the whatever little Western music idea I had with Indian music, and that helped a lot. And then gradually I just pulled them back to India. Okay, now come to India. Learn how to write music. Learn how we conceptualize the skeleton only the basic pattern, and then we improvise on it. So it really worked, and at the end of 5 years, Francesca Casio, she was able to sing Marwa, Tori, these are the very important ragas and very intricate ragas, bandishes in tune, which I think a big achievement for me, because singing Marwa in tune is even challenging for Indians. Singing Tori in tune, singing Lalit in tune, it's a big challenge. So I was so happy that I could convey some message to the newcomers. At least they got interested. And now you see Francesca went so long and a big journey. Not only Francesca, Barbara. There is another one. Juppie did also this overtone singing. And there is another one called Sabrina. She also did Indian music. Christiana Papa, she is also doing Indian music. I think somewhere near Italy. We didn't meet for a long time. And lately, one of my who's studied under me last 3 years, Michela, she's really doing very, very good, because she has focused on Khyal and all the nuances of Khyal singing, which you really need, calls for a lot of practice. I think if she can maintain it at least for coming 10 years, she's going to become a fabulous singer. Really good. Yeah, when I came first, I really had no idea, no conception of Alan Danelli, G, I say, because we always regard a musician with G. respectfully. So, but when I came here for the first time in this Chini Foundation, my father told me that this is founded by an Italian who worked all his life for Indian music. And I said, I mean, somebody who already did all his life, and we we really don't know. We didn't know that much. If you didn't come here, but gradually with all the whatever we found to see the museum and about him, and also he was alive that time. And I remember in 1991, we were with myself, with Aditya Mukherjee, my father, Renzo Salvadori, Mrs. Peeler. He came to meet us. He came to meet us, but I was only 22 years old. I was like in awe of him. I was just thinking, how could this man go to India? The India in 1950s, 60s was not an easy place to live and collect. So we had long discussions, and I was mostly the listener and the surprisingly witnessing things, you know. So gradually it got into me, and it's very interesting to see not only what he did, the intention, the love for India in him at that point of time. You know, when you didn't have no WhatsApp, no Messenger, nothing. How did he collect information for India? He just went there to collect something, na? Just like that. Let me see what happens. It's a great endeavor. It's not only history. It's a father figure, I should say, for entire Europe. He's the father figure for Indian music. Everybody should first, you know, respect his name, his all the contribution, then start with their own. I don't blame anybody for that. Especially, I don't never blame young generation for that, because whatever they are getting, whatever they are having, it's we who are providing them. So what if they're doing good? It's also ours. If they're doing bad, it's also our responsibility. Now, with us, with our generation, there was no gadgets, nothing. When we went to the Guru, we have to learn it from here, remember it till the next class. Gadgets were there, but they were not provided to us. And when I started teaching, this mini recorder, but initially what I did, please don't record now. Learn at least for 3 hours with me. At the end of the workshop, record what I want you to record, not the entire thing. Because if you record, you don't remember anything. You tend to forget because it's there. I can learn anytime, but nobody never learns. It's like a Xerox copy. Give me a copy and it lies in the bag. If you don't read it immediately, it lies in the bag. I know that. So this was my approach. But now, even they don't require to write, because if you just make a phone a picture, it's in their phone immediately. So the direct association with the music, with the art, whatever it is, music, dance, art, whatever it is, direct association, you have to do it from the scratch. This is missing. And again, with these digital platforms, with this 1.5 minute reels and all these things, the tendency have become that if you can sustain for 1.5 minutes, you are there. Make 1,000 reels, you get point. So approach has changed. It's not their fault. It's not their fault. So now the students are mixed students. We get this kind of students also who just want to do it, just jump. shortcut to glory. And we also get students who want to learn, who want to practice. So, but the second category is becoming little less, because it takes a long way. Actually, success takes you, it's a long way always. It's never a shortcut. There is no shortcut to anything. But to accept it is the most important thing. I accept that I have to work for. We always accept that when we are in school. When you go into a school, you accept that you have to go till 10th, then 12th, then you become a graduate. But when you come to music, you don't accept the fact that you have to go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 and then 10, then graduate. You just want to jump from 1 to graduate. This is a tendency which I'm witnessing. Not all, majority. Oh, I can't sing like you. I can't do like this. I said, I'm singing since last 50 years. I started at the age of 5 and I'll be 55 very soon. So how can you compare? It's my experience. In Hindi it's just a jurba. That's very strong, deep-rooted experience. And not only with me, I have kind of seen so many greats together, and I have kind of taken so much of lessons from them. And I gave time to the art. So minimum time has to be given. Minimum, it's 10 to 15 years. Minimum. Even for Zakir Hussain. Zakir Hussain started at 13. He already practiced when he was 3 years old. So 10 years. And at the vigilance of Ustad Ala Khan. Even then it was 10 years. Even then it was not a jump. So I always suggest two things. One is to give time to yourself. Don't hasten up anything. Nothing will really happen. At the end of the day, it will be a fiasco. You end up nowhere. Whatever you do, you have to give this. It's due time, due course. And okay, I have students who are doing it. I do have the second category, who are very much interested and who very serious. They would come with a little bit, what do I do? Okay, do this riyaz and get it. But there are most of the students like, I can't make the reel. Because if I'm doing here fast, it's not working. So this is a mixed thing. And in Europe, what I'm witnessing, because my father worked since 1967, I worked from 1991. My father's students who are playing now, like Federico, he has a learning experience of 40 years, playing experience of 25 years. Now you see Federico. But only dhakketette nakedin and you go on stage for concert is not only insulting yourself, insulting a big tradition. Only 2-3 songs from a master, 2 workshop, 3 workshop, you go on to the stage. You are insulting yourself, insulting Italy or Germany, whoever you are, insulting a big tradition. I think this should be regulated. This I'm very much for that. It should be regulated. Otherwise the grand, the concept or the perception of a heritage of art will die down very soon.